Hey guys, this is ggurface, and I will be talking about a game between HuK, the blue Protoss player spawning at the lower left hand corner, and DIMAGA spawning as the yellow Zerg on the upper right hand corner. This game illustrates several key points about Starcraft that are not very prevalent. One of the not very prevalent points is scouting. Early scouting, late scouting, scouting harass. Another point is building placement, as we'll see in this game how these players take advantage of each other and of the mechanics of the game to get them an edge. As we see, HuK is moving out after he puts down the pylon. As this is a very small map, this is a very good idea to send out your first scout very early. This probe is going to be able to get into the base and see what the Zerg player is doing. He sees that there has not been a hatchery. Of course, you can't get it that fast. But now we see the probe inside the Zerg's base. Now what the probe wants to do is harass and throw the Zerg off his game. That's why he's spending a lot of micro, if you notice. HuK is probably has his screen stationed on this side and not in his base producing probes. So what we're looking for now is either a spawning pool or a hatchery. The Zerg player needs to throw down one of these two buildings, usually as an early expand or a pool. And the pool is going to go down on no. You see, HuK denies this early pool. Not early pool, but denies it for a few seconds and forces DIMAGA to spend a couple of seconds pulling another drone off the line to build a spawning pool in the back. And here we see a very annoying probe with a rechargeable shield harassing these Zerg units. In the meantime, HuK has decided to put his buildings outside and trying to get an early expansion. DIMAGA in the meantime has gotten gas. So HuK knows he's gotten gas and he's on one base right now, and he's probably going to double check. Maybe he won't even double check to see if there's hatchery. He's going back and forth. He's trying to decide what he wants to do. DIMAGA on the other hand is able to see this building placement with his overlord. And here we see HuK is going back to his base. Probably needs to get that one probe to help him out. Scouting is not only a physical game, but it's also a mental game. As we see that HuK was able to have a physical presence by having the probe inside the base, but not only that, he was able to prevent the spawning pool from going down. As a player, you never want to overreact to something. For instance, if you see a couple of void rays, you don't want to mass 10 or 20 Vikings. By the same thread, you don't want to pull off all your workers just because there's one probe in your base that prevented you from putting down your spawning pool. I mean, a lot of us will try to do it because we're a little bit annoyed and it throws off our game, but you have to try to remain calm, because remaining calm and thinking clearly about the game will give you a clear advantage over time. And here we see the two Zerglings are scouting for any funny business from HuK, any potential proxy pylons. Proxy pylons are a little bit difficult to deal with for any player if they haven't scouted it, because it gives a huge advantage to the person who has the proxy pylon. When you have a proxy pylon, you can pretty much warp in units anywhere you like. Here we see HuK scouting to see if DIMAGA has expanded, and he has not. And DIMAGA really needs to kill off this probe because he does not want to reveal the tech that he has, which is the roach warren in the very back of his base. And if we take a look at this building placement, we see two pylons, which are like the powerhouses of the power plants of the Protoss army, and then we see the higher HP buildings up in the front. And the cannon you usually want to keep in the back because you want to keep this alive as long as possible, as it is defending your base. Right now, the unit composition for HuK is 4 roaches and 10 Zerglings. I don't think that this one cannon will be able to deal with it, and I think HuK will soon realize that he needs to put down additional cannons if he wants to survive. But we do see a very healthy probe count for HuK, and that is advantageous for him. He really needs to throw down an additional cannon. I think he's hearing me actually. Is he going to throw down another cannon right now? I think he definitely should. DIMAGA knows that he's a little bit behind in worker count because he spent so much of his resources in Zerglings and roaches. Right now, this pylon is able to see that these destructible rocks are going down, and then we see an additional 1 cannon being warped in. Maybe he want to throw down another 1 or 2 cannons. These roaches are working on the gateway, these roaches are working on the destructible rocks, and these zealots are pretending as if nothing's happening. These zealots have their ears plugged and are saying, oh, nothing's happening, not gonna come out. I'm gonna wait till these cannons finish. Right now, HuK is trying to buy time, and he's building his little sim city, trying to stay alive. Because if HuK can maintain his advantage of almost a double amount of probe count, then he can have a very, very good standing in a couple of minutes. Here we see HuK accidentally puts down the wrong gateway at the wrong time, at the wrong place. And these roaches are trying to come in, and they're not going to come in because there's too many cannons in the way, and these zealots back away smartly not to get surrounded by the roaches, as the roaches can actually micro the zealots pretty well. One sentry comes out. This sentry is able to walk through here, and he's basically able to throw down a force field wherever he wants, and one force field goes down, and this force field forces this roach forward and is able to kill it off. DIMAGA is sticking with his roach strategy, but he has not decided to get another expansion yet. That may be problematic. Oh, this pylon's gonna go down. HuK definitely needs to throw down another pylon somewhere behind the lines. He takes down one probe, and this sentry outranges the roach, so he's able to shoot at it without being harmed. Right now, I think DIMAGA really needs to expand, because this is not gonna work. There's 4 cannons, 3 zealots, and 3 sentries. These sentries will be able to put force fields and pretty much delay the forces for a good minute, I would say, at least another minute. A very good number of Zerglings and Roach. A base is going down for DIMAGA as well as HuK at the same time. But if we look at the worker count, 13 versus 31, there's a vast income difference. Here, these Zerglings and Roaches are trying to get in, but one very, very good force field prevents them from slipping by. Another force field cuts about a fourth or a fifth of DIMAGA's force and keeps them inside the base and within the range of the cannons. You never want to engage static defenses if you can avoid it. For instance, you never want to engage tanks head on. You always want to wait until they unsiege, go up, do some damage. When they siege up, you run back, and then you do it again and again, and you prevent them from slow creeping on you, slow pushing you across the map. The same thing would apply here with the cannons. You don't want to face these head on, because each of these don't count as food. They are 150 minerals, there are 20 points of damage, and this has gotten 3 kills, 1 kill, 7 kills, and 2 kills. That's a lot of kills for not that much minerals. This is only 600 minerals investment. And here, both players are checking each other out. This Zergling is checking out the forces of HuK, and HuK is moving out with a very large group of force. He's had an income advantage for quite a bit, but right now, DIMAGA knows he's behind. That's why he's pumped out a lot of drones. But at the same time, HuK is utilizing his massive income for quite a bit to get a large army size. This might not brew too well for DIMAGA. DIMAGA sends another Zergling, a sacrificial Zergling, to see what's going on. And then now here we see a big engagement. These guys need to get a couple of good force fields to prevent this around. If they're able to prevent this around, I think HuK might be able to take it here. And DIMAGA GG's. Take a look at this, guys. This is very important. 2 very important parts of the game. 1 force field here, 1 force field here. It forces the Zerg to be separated into 1 little path here, 1 little path here, and 1 little path here. These zealots are perfectly capable of holding off the Zerglings and Roaches when the longer range sentries are able to get the kills from behind. So zealots, mid shields, and sentries, damage dealers. And also, if you take a look here, pylons are a little bit in the back. The cannons are right in the middle of the 2 choke points, and then if you come in this front, these 3 cannons will hit you, and if you come in on this front, these 2 cannons will hit you, and maybe this one as well. So this is very good building placement. You guys could probably learn a lot from this. I hope you guys enjoy that, and it was instructional. Always GG your games, guys, and if you don't want to GG your games, at least say GG your face. See you guys next time.